Okay, welcome back to another shotgun review. We just
have been activated.
We just got out of this year's American movie. We got one of those coming out every year. Last year was American Sniper. Year before it was American Hustle, Gangster, and yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Right.
No, it's American
And
Ultra.
so, yeah, it's American Ultra.
Hi, I'm ShadowACS, by the way.
Yeah.
Are we on camera? That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Because yeah, that's right. You don't usually appear on your own videos.
Hi, I'm on the internet, everybody. Nice to see you.
You might
guest appearance.
Hi,
guest appearance of people who review anime and hentai.
I'm
Hey,
a guest. You have to treat me good. Okay.
When I put your name in the description, you want me to use your YouTube name? Or
I'll
just...
feature it on my channel for a couple days. That's okay.
All right.
So we just got out of American Ultra. Oh joy! Just to be clear, am I the only one here who didn't like this movie?
You're not really the only one.
Okay, good.
I mean, I wasn't really expecting them to like this movie. I knew that.
I wasn't expecting to like this movie.
I knew that it was going to be ultra violent. Duh.
But I liked it.
It was kind of a dumb, fun flick for me.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah. The thing was with it though, Mad Max Fury Road was a dumb, fun movie. It went all the way. It went super violent. It had like the shotgun guitar with like fire on the end of it. It just went insane.
But that's what Mad Max is.
Yes.
Yeah.
This movie, it felt so cynical. I see like a Hollywood producer saying, okay, we have like $4 million to make a cheap action movie. Kristen Stewart's not doing anything. Whose idea was that, by the way?
To have Kristen Stewart in the movie, or to have her
To have her in an action movie aimed
does
at
anyone
men.
else think this was possibly another Twilight fanfic?
Oh dear Lord!
Oh.
No!
Oh.
We don't need any more of those.
I didn't even get that though.
Yeah.
I felt like this was a movie made by somebody who didn't know anything and didn't like action movies and just made one because he was told to. Like, the main character in this movie...
Must be nice not having someone telling you what to do.
The main character in this
Hey,
movie
they even
is...
said it in the movie.
He's clearly drunk throughout the entire movie.
Yeah, well...
Like, good
drunk.
God!
Drunk?
Well,
No,
he's not really drunk. He's just,
He looked like this throughout the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Even when he's, like, shooting people!
Look like?
Well, he is not exactly human. He is this,
Okay.
we do find out that he's he's like this super weapon or something designed by the CIA.
I didn't.
You know, the scenes where he's starting
human
to
begin with. They did specify he went through a program.
Yeah. When he's starting to think that maybe he's not human, he starts bringing up the possibility that maybe, like, he's a robot. That's
Isn't that
that's
what
kind
they
of
mostly
funny.
say
In
about
fact,
Kristen Stewart?
It could
Yeah.
have been funny.
and I thought he
would
starts
know.
thinking, I never knew anything about tanks and guns, and now I know everything about tanks and
I've
guns.
kind of seen that
He
cliche before.
should have been
though.
like, I must be in the Matrix. They must have downloaded that into my
if
mind.
they had like put a bunch of goofy references like that and had it been super over the top and silly like that, it would have been hilarious. It would have been great.
I don't think it was meant to be.
It wasn't really meant to stand out like that. Like, he was kind of clueless. Like, he was just starting to realize.
His
how
reactions
big it
to
was.
what he was doing were really good. Like
Really?
so? Like that first part where he takes those guys out, he's just like freaking the hell out.
Because he really isn't aware of what he's doing.
Yeah,
he just kind
I know.
of does it. Because
Okay,
he's mentally
I got that
It's a
part of the movie.
reflex.
Let me ask you this though. If you're watching a dumb grindhouse action movie where you just want to see some silly action and shoot 'em ups and stabbing and fun, do you want a James Bond type hero who you can have fun with and get behind as he's like being cool and shooting, or do you want just some dumb stoner?
Can I say that this would at least, in those people who wanted form conspiracy theories that the government has hidden agents.
I wouldn't.
God, I hate that cliche.
I wouldn't be
No, I'm
surprised.
just saying, would you not say that if somebody was actually under this kind of thing, that if they were just randomly activated, would you not say that their reactions at first would be kind of out of it?
But also,
You
if
have
they're
to know how the
supposed,
human mind
if they're
works.
supposed to be like these deep, like they don't
Okay.
know. I would expect them to use these sort of people like Mike instead of the Ultra, because these are the people that they can get in. They like at the end, nobody took him seriously, and that's was his advantage.
Okay, I agree with that. That's a good idea.
Knowing yourself.
If they had played that up in a comedic, goofy, fun way, that would have been cool. Instead, they don't really utilize that at all throughout the movie.
Okay,
Until the very end.
But the one thing I loved about this film were the action. Like most of this what?
Some of the action scenes were a little too played out for the action. I mean, they just
Most of it is entirely improvised.
See, I would have liked that if they would just stop shaking the camera. I couldn't see the action. I wanted to have fun and see the action, but instead, I'm seeing this.
Like 28
This is
weeks
what I'm
later,
watching, and
Sony Handycam, right?
Yes. The action movies have been like, how long have they been doing this dumb shaky cam bullshit in action movies where there's all this cool fighting going on and you can't see it because you feel like you're having a seizure?
I think it's mainly because it's happening so you know. Okay,
we can't enjoy the action because we can't see it.
And
yes, because my camera
because
is shaking.
the action is happening so fast that they have to get it more mobile than it would be on a tripod or something.
Okay,
but here's
Terminator. The Terminator movies had crazy action, and they didn't do that.
But the solution. This was used in like Bruce Lee's films, were high-speed cameras. The dude moves so fast. That was the only way they could get him on film.
Okay, I haven't seen any of Bruce Lee's movies, so I don't know if that works.
I would say my solitary problem is the casting.
The actors were terrible in the movie.
No, Jesse. As you've heard the complaint about Jesse Eisenberg, right?
I don't even know the guy. This is my first time seeing in a movie.
Really?
What is the complaint?
I thought he was terrible.
The main complaint is that he is so much like, you know who Michael Cera is?
Oh yeah. I always get
that's
those
the main
confused.
No, the main confusion is that they have so similar acting styles, is that it's easy to confuse one with the other.
And they also have very similar facial expressions.
In fact,
too.
I think Mad TV actually made a joke about that, where Jesse Eisenberg is being sued by Michael Cera. Like you could put Michael Cera, and I think it would be more believable.
I just don't want an action movie where the hero just does this for the whole movie. I'm an action hero. Look at me, I'm charging into gunfire.
Again, he's not supposed to.
Isn't that kind of what? Isn't that kind of what the T-800 is?
You talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger?
He is actually a robot, but yeah.
Okay, Arnold Schwarzenegger was firm, tough, big, and bad.
And monotone.
The fact that he was monotone, he used that to his advantage because it made him look threatening in that movie.
Here's the thing. The main idea of the Terminator was to blend into a crowd. In fact, their original choice before Schwarzenegger was Lance Henriksen, who is a lot more, covert.
Well, that's a problem with the Terminator movie. We should go back to this movie.
Yeah.
Either way,
It's a comparative.
one thing I do want to say about this movie...
But this guy he's not supposed to stand out like that. He's not supposed to, you're not supposed to look at him, you're not supposed to look at him and fear him, you're supposed to look at him and laugh off.
I guess.
And then he kicks you straight in the...
Okay. One thing I do want to say about this movie is my experience with it was...
Oh, wait. There's another thing I didn't like. You remember the twist about the tough guys? Who else was not... Did anyone else expect them to turn on Topher Grace's character?
No, I didn't expect that.
Really?
No.
I'm the only one who thought that, oh yeah, these kind of people, like, to give them... These kind of people are not right to give training, right?
Oh,
they're
obviously, you can't control them.
And, what if they decide, don't need you? It kicks in.
It's almost like this movie was really stupid or something.
They had like 20 of these guys. And at any point they could have run.
They had kill switches and stuff too. I mean, if you think about that. I mean, I might be reading too far into this because I have a lot of other things I could base that on that have tried other things that have been successful.
But otherwise, besides those two
bring
complaints,
up- Yeah.
I didn't have any real problem
See,
with the
Such
movie.
as to
Okay.
bring up
This-
Deus Ex,
so-
they had kill switches in the
See,
All right. Well,
I think Kristen Stewart actually did a better job
yeah, better,
than
yeah.
Twilight.
Yeah.
Although
I
it's
mean,
very hard to save
I
yourself from
thought
Twilight.
she did her Twilight performance in this, where she's just boring, monotone, and
I
is
kind of
clearly not
agree.
trying.
I kind of
Yeah,
agree.
there were.
She did a little better, but not by a whole hell of a lot. She's still a boring ass.
You can't
self.
say.
She was fine in Still Alice.
I never saw Still Alice, so I can't see. I've seen her in this, and I've seen her in Twilight, and I thought she sucked in both.
I actually
Okay.
saw Twilight. She's, my opinion
So-
is she's better than this, but
People
not. But
admitting
that's a
they saw
margin.
Twilight, I
It's a
am
definitely margin.
deeply ashamed.
What?
Okay,
Oh,
so
I never said I. Yeah, I've
I
seen
haven't
it,
said
but
a
I
whole
did
lot,
not like
yeah.
it.
Okay, he wants to talk.
all right, so I had a few moments of fun with this movie. I'm really not a ultra violent action junkie, but my biggest problem with the movie is that it's really inconsistent in its tone. Is it?
Oh yeah.
Does it want to be like an action comedy? Does it want to be an ultra violent shoot 'em up? Is the romance gonna be serious? Is it gonna be kind of comedic?
I noticed that too.
Yeah, it's.
Hey, do you ever notice the subtle hints as possibly that all the people who were making this movie were probably just as stoned as they were portraying the characters to be?
Yeah.
I would not.
Oh
have
yeah. That ending. Like the
The
ending.
credits
of
were great. They were the
Yes.
good part of the movie.
Really?
So for those who
Alright.
haven't seen this
Just
movie,
like Hot Pursuit.
Decent.
for those who haven't seen this movie, the credits scene of this movie, the main character has this fantasy where he's a stoner, so he makes up this. What was the name? Apollo Monkey or something
No,
like that?
Apollo 8.
Ape. It's
Apollo
making fun
8.
of Apollo 8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where he.
Space Monkey.
It's basically a super violent grindhouse space monkey he creates who saves the day. And in the end credit sequence, it's basically just a crayon cartoon of this space monkey just massacring a bunch of people. And it's so over the top and it's
Hey.
so violent, but it's
like
hilarious
something
and
right out of-
nuts.
Wait,
It's like
guys,
something right
what
out
if
of
they
a
made a
piece of-
movie
Yeah.
out of that cartoon he made?
I'd see that.
I would see it. Like, see, that's the point though. If the movie had gone that ridiculous
Okay, I think
grindhouse, that would have been good.
I think-
that would have been great.
I think we've gone on long enough, so let's get to grading.
I don't know.
This sucked.
One thing I will
Uh,
say, one thing that makes this movie a better alternative to Sinister 2 is that
it's not Sinister
this
2.
one scene,
Oh yeah.
this one scene where a plastic bag is flying around, lands on this car, and then it just blows up. That actually made me jump more than any scare in Sinister 2. I'd like to
okay.
see if CinemaSins did everything wrong with American Ultra. You know how after they count up the sins, they might show clips with audio from something else over it?
Yeah.
I'd like to see like
Oh,
that
this'll make a
scene,
great cinema
that
sense.
scene with the dialogue
I
from
can't
American
deny.
Beauty, another American movie.
This is probably one of those.
It'd be like
movies-
it could be like
Yeah.
I just feel like there's so much beauty in the world. I feel like
Oh my god, that would be
I-
great.
In this
I-
flying plastic bag!
I feel like yeah,
Gosh, man.
just
Okay.
abruptly ends. as soon
Okay,
as
So
it blows
before we
up.
end this, I
Okay.
want to say there's two more points I want to make about the movie. One, which made this really interesting for me. I think all of you guys knew what this movie was going into it, right?
Pretty much.
Not really. I was expecting more of an
I was
action
expecting.
comedy. And
I was not
I-
expecting to like it as much as
I had no idea
been
what the
a
hell
gray
this movie
there.
even was going into it.
It
And
looked
like,
stupid at
I didn't
first,
know
but
it
I
was
had
an
a little bit of
action
fun with
movie.
it.
I hadn't seen the poster. I hadn't seen anything about it. So I just went into this movie completely blind. And my reactions to the first 30 minutes were so bizarre.
Yeah,
like,
it was kind of that.
the 30 minutes looked like-
thing, you know?
Like, the movie starts looking like it's going to be like a romance with this drunk, quirky guy and Kristen Stewart. And I'm like, oh, is this a romance movie? And then we cut to the CIA and like this crazy woman with these goofy dark glasses entering the supermarket. I'm like, okay, what the hell is this movie turned into? Like, I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone or something.
Bad porn.
You kind of do feel like you're in the Twilight Zone whenever Kristen Stewart is around.
Well,
Oh! Oh!
oh
Okay, all right,
Oh, you!
All right,
oh my
we've,
god.
we've made enough
Wait.
jokes about
Okay,
that.
let's-
So
The last thing I want to say is that the villain in this movie,
Toph-
good god. Any movie or any story that has the big evil suit villain who just has no realism or humanity to him whatsoever and just treats people like pawns and is basically a joking for a promotion. Is there anybody in the world who likes that cliche?
I'm sorry.
Really?
The other
Nah.
thing I have to say about him is he's no different from his original role in That 70s Show. He has the same kind of quirks too. He's being a little more lingual. He cusses more. He's still Eric Foreman. I mean, you can literally see in the motions and emotions he portrays
Foreman.
himself in. Yes, he's literally Eric Foreman still. It's literally
You know
like
what?
watching Ashton Kutcher again.
Okay.
Kutcher is Kutcher
Okay.
is Kutcher, just
Okay.
like he was Kelso.
Unless you're making a Disney movie for 5-year-olds, don't do that character anymore. I'm tired of seeing him. We're all tired of seeing him. It's
Kutcher.
lazy. It's dumb.
No, the way they portrayed the bad guy.
And I think that's all. Do we want to grade this movie now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Okay.
Let's do this. I'll begin this.
Okay.
I'm giving this a C minus.
Really? I thought you liked the movie.
Your grades always turn out way lower than I thought. I mean,
Really? You said
mean, you-
higher last
I mean,
time.
it seemed like you. No, I didn't. Last night, last night you kind of sounded like you liked Sinister 2, and then all of a sudden I hear D+ from you. Yeah. Okay.
That's
So-
because it actually did scare me. But maybe C.
Okay.
All right.
Somewhere in the
C.
C range.
I would.
Somewhere in the
I would
C
also
range.
give it a C. Yeah.
Like that like I was saying, what I was expecting to happen at the end
Mhm.
for all those guys to turn and not have it happen,
Yeah.
that was a disappointment. Like it was setting that up. It was
Hold
a
on,
total
wait,
setup.
one more thing. Whatever happened to the one guy he was sitting next to? They never explained it. He never killed him, or at least they never made you think.
Oh,
he killed
great. Now we have a total, should this be spoiler free? Or
I don't think anybody is going to give a shit about the story in this movie.
Okay.
Even if they
now
say
they
it's-
have an obvious psychopath with CIA training loose on the streets. How is that a good thing?
I mean, they never really explain what happened to him. You don't know that he killed him. He was just sitting there with him, and he actually put the gun down.
I mean, I understand the reasoning. You want someone who has an easy time taking lives, but no, it might work on paper, but there's too many. There's too many.
Keep in
Everything
mind, the
like
villain in
that.
this movie was going to nuke an entire city to get one guy, because that's how the government is really stupid.
Yeah, but I
He
still
wasn't
give
gonna
this.
nuke a city. He was gonna hit the house with a hellfire.
I loved
Big difference.
the action scenes, and that's really what gives it.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I love this sort of like improvisation.
I'm
All
sorry,
right.
I didn't know
So-
I spoke Mandarin. I'm sorry.
Okay,
that's...
that was funny.
That's. I thought that was just stupid. I didn't laugh at that.
Okay.
Oh,
But,
come on.
Nick?
That at least was a little bit cute.
Okay.
Could have been better
Who's next?
executed. Okay, Nick, you want to go?
What?
Grading.
What's the grade?
I said C.
Okay.
So we all pretty much gave it C's except for Billy.
I'm gonna give it a D.
I know.
just-
Really?
I know.
I
know.
I didn't hate it enough to give it a straight F, but I was pretty solidly bored throughout the whole thing. I facepalmed a few times, and there just wasn't a lot to like for me in it. The end credit scene was kind of fun. If someone ever puts that up on YouTube by itself, watch that. Don't pay to see it.
Alex?
All right. So, well, I said I also give it a C.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So,
So 3 C's and a D.
Yep.
yeah, 3
Okay,
C's and a D.
now we move on to trailers.
And we have two new trailers we haven't discussed. One is the one that came last, the Spanish one from the director of Prisoners, the one that Alex told me about.
I didn't know what to think of that trailer.
Yeah,
Looks kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
I don't know what to
I can't remember what it was called, but
Sisters
Yes.
looks interesting mainly because
Sisters,
I like Tina Fey.
Sister,
I like
that was
Tina
the most
Fey, but,
painful trailer we saw.
yeah, that's
Good.
gonna
That,
That's-
God, the
I'm
comedy
not
in that
seeing
trailer was
We're
bad.
not
Don't
sitting
miss-
through that.
that movie's
Oh,
gonna suck.
You can sit through that if you want to.
It's-
We are not.
I can tell it's
Tina
gonna be
Fey,
another
man.
movie like
It doesn't
like
matter
the-
if the actor
like the
is
Wedding
good or
Ringer and
bad.
stuff
The movie
where
itself
there's,
sucks.
like-
There's no redeeming
How
quality
do you
over
know-
one person.
How do you know it's gonna suck just based off a trailer?
Well, unless they
Well, we
specifically
don't, but-
handpicked all the worst parts of the movie movie for the trailer.
Yeah,
You know what?
exactly.
You know why the Doctor Who movie failed?
Why?
Because Fox did a horrible job promoting it. Promotion
True.
and the action. There's a difference between promoting a product and the actual
This is
product
very true.
itself.
The trailer for Inside
True,
Out
but
didn't
if
look
you
that
wanna
great
make your
either.
product like, if you want to show off your product, show off the good portions, not the bad ones.
He does have a point, though. We haven't seen it yet, so we don't know for sure. Anyway, any
Still.
other trailers we want to say?
I think that's it. I mean,
Did you talk about Deadpool on this show already?
Yeah, we talked on
Yes.
Deadpool
Okay.
already. We talked about the walk, I think, many
Yes.
times. I'm really looking forward to the walk.
I mean, what's the point of that movie? Just to wait until a guy walks a tightrope?
Comics, the Deadpool looks fun.
Well, it's a true story, and it might be kind of
There,
exhilarating to see him.
there are
get
movies
there.
about exorcism that advertise
Yeah.
themselves as true stories. That line doesn't mean
No,
sure.
no, that did happen. There was a
I wanna
documentary
see-
about it called Man
Yeah.
on Wire.
Hey,
It happened back in the
you ever think
1970s.
they'll remake The Exorcist?
Oh no!
And with that, we can shut the video off.
Yeah,
Good job,
please.
everybody.